Welcome to Las Películas Sábados Gigantes at the Cinemarijuana Theatre. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
The shitlords of cinematic scrutiny who talk about movies. And that's what we're here to do today. We watch them and then talk about them. And we are right now in the middle of a theme we call Cinema Under Glass. And right now it's Animal Antagonist. And we're here to talk about Orca from 1977. Right?
That's right.
That's
the one.
So let's get into it then. I don't know what's so fucking funny over there.
Nothing. I'm just excited for introductions.
Yay. Okay. All right. Let's take care of those. So clockwise, starting with me, I'm Ed.
I'm Condi.
I'm John.
I'm Kenzie.
I'm Raul.
I'm Chris.
All right. And so yes, Orca from 1977 was a John pick.
That was me. I'm the guy who picked it.
Yes.
I'm John.
Yes, for Animal Antagonist.
John's and I actually didn't go last for once.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
weird.
I broke my losing streak.
which is a rare occurrence.
Shocked.
So before we get chatting about Orca here, we like to start the podcast off with a little Underberg, which is the world's greatest natural digestive aid. Thank you, Condi, for doling out the Underberg. These are like the best. You know, I was actually reading about this stuff, and like, really, this is like some old world shit.
Oh,
Well,
yeah?
how old?
This,
Old world?
No. But I mean
I
the
think
good old world.
I think it says on the wrapper. I think you translate that it says old world shit.
like you know how like the apple pan has that banana cream pie, and the recipe's like 100 years old. And it's
Yeah.
like, because you can't go wrong with that recipe. It's like
Right.
the same thing with Underberg.
You know what I hate? I hate unwrapping them because they're super cute and I don't want to unwrap them. But then once you do unwrap them, there's like something even cuter
Yes.
awaiting you.
I only hate unwrapping them because then you got to drink them.
It's like a little present that you open up.
It
for
is.
yourself.
It is.
But I
Well,
like
it-
making mine
Underberg.
look like it's wearing a cape.
For all times.
I love the best thing about it is like it comes with its own park bag.
It's great. And everybody
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure to save your caps, because we're trying to earn that truck, just like the kid in Clown.
Gonna get our own Underberg truck, and then with the trailers, play the theme song. It's gonna be awesome.
Wait, Underberg has a theme song?
I guess so.
Yeah, but
for
I don't
sure.
want. I don't want to hear it until we have the trailer.
So we earn that
I think it's
fucking truck.
Underberg Uber Alice.
Well,
Underbergus,
would-
Uberalis.
would that be incorrect? All right.
Chris, you don't want one even though it's your birthday?
No.
Oh, that's right. It's Chris's birthday.
Well,
It is
happy
Chris's
birthday,
birthday.
Chris.
Happy
Yes.
birthday, Chris.
So then let's take this Underberg down for our pal Chris.
Well, happy birthday,
Chris.
Chris, to
Thank
you.
you.
So Chris,
L'chaim.
we're gonna choke
And
this
many
down.
more.
Yep.
All right. choke, 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 choke. Underberg, for all occasions. What else could it be but Underberg? I don't know what to say about it.
Delicious. Smooth. Just like the kind Mama used to make.
Smooth.
That unforgettable taste.
Woo!
Underberg.
Ooh, man, that's great.
I
Ooh.
got my loins warm.
Yeah. That is
Ugh.
something else.
Wow.
Wonderful.
All right.
All right. Now I'm ready to
for
talk about this
something.
motherfucking
I
movie.
don't know.
I don't know about this movie, but
Everybody's taking that time. It's a little silent because everybody's got to get that chaser in.
all right. Please stop disparaging the Underberg, Condi. You are. I like to. In case you, in case you can't tell by listening to this, the overwhelming majority of us love this shit. Condi is the only one who's
I'm not saying I don't like it.
running his trap.
It's just
powerful stuff.
It is there for you.
Well, you know,
Well, you
it's
want
like-
your stomach really settled.
Well,
You don't want it a little settled.
Well, no, that's it. That's it. You want that shit. Well, dude, it's like defragging your hard drive, but
Yep.
it's like defragging your intestinal drive.
Which is
That's
probably
it,
good
man.
for me right now, is considering I just had some Der Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh, dude.
There you
this
go,
is,
dude.
Very
Perfect.
true.
You don't want to be
Yeah.
up all
How
night with the
apropos.
schnitz.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes,
I know.
Look, otherwise, you'd be up all night with the schnitz. Yeah.
So, all right,
Good one, John.
Orca.
That was
You really
perfect.
feel that right away. Like,
Oh,
kinda,
yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah, it's great.
okay.
Just
Well,
settled.
we
That stomach.
should on like another special podcast do like several shots of Underberg.
Yeah.
I want to on
Dude,
my
there's
birthday.
no way
Let's do
you're
it on my
puking
birthday.
after that.
Under
Yeah,
birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
under
under
birthday.
You don't call it
Birthday.
Under birthday.
Harry
It actually-
Potter
I heard it
birthday
actually-
party.
It creates like a little membrane at the top of your stomach, so nothing can come back out, but anything can go in. So,
Dude, you're
Underberg's-
blowing my
You're such
mind
a
right
fucking
now.
bullshitter. That is
no,
not.
I saw it. Science said
Science.
Science fiction.
there are like 2 scientists,
All right,
lab
well-
coats, and everything.
Let's talk about this.
We,
Yeah.
we've had our Underberg.
Oh, yes, yes,
So we
yes.
should probably go to Kenzie for the synopsis, right?
Yes, actually, that is absolutely correct. Take it away.
Okay. Okay, so this movie is about this guy who pisses off this whale by capturing and killing his whale wife. And so the whale like decides that he needs to get revenge on this guy. And so the guy won't like come out to fight the whale, so he starts fucking with the town and like doing crazy things. And the townspeople are like, "Oh, you gotta go fight the whale, or else we're gonna throw you to him." And so he has this plan to like apologize to the whale and be like, "I'm gonna look it in the eyes and explain to him that I'm sorry." And then like he never does anything with that plan, does he? All of a sudden they're just like trying to kill him now.
Well, he kind of saw him eye to eye when he was looking through the scope of his gun.
And the Eskimo guy was kind of like, nah, dude, you got to fight this fucking whale.
Well, yeah,
Really?
the
Is the
Eskimo guy
Eskimo
was
guy?
was very.
Grab him by
I
the
think he
horns.
knew that he wouldn't accept an apology at that point.
I guess
just
that's
gone too
true.
far.
What did the whale have to lose anyways? He already
Yeah,
lost
that's
his
it.
wife and his fetus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, yeah, his wife and child.
Yeah.
Whale with nothing to
Yeah.
lose.
Lost him to
Okay.
humanity's
So,
greed.
anyways, so then they have this epic battle, and I think our listeners should see for themselves how the movie ends.
No spoiler synopsis.
Yeah.
No spoiler in that.
Yeah,
But you guys
somebody-
can spoil it
Yeah,
if you want.
Oh, we
It
will.
probably will be spoiled. I guess for our listeners,
I'll spoil the
there'll
shit
be
out of it.
Basically-
suspense until some point.
It's got to be seen to be believed, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's that spectacular.
It's a mix
Yeah.
of Free Willy and Fight Club.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So anybody in the Balone zone?
yes, did-
Sir Richard Harris, perhaps?
Yeah, or the whale.
No.
Or the
Huge
Indian
balloon.
guy? The
Yes,
Navajo
the
dude?
chief from fucking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Are you telling me out of all the movies that you love, you wouldn't bang Dumbledore?
No, not like
Dumbledore?
that.
Not even when he was Youngledore?
Yeah, Youngledore.
No, he was
Nice.
a bad guy. He hurts animals. I'm not
He's
gonna
not a bad
bang you
guy.
if
He's
you
making a
hurt
living.
animals.
Heart was in the right place.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. You don't hurt animals. You hurt people then if you need to make a living.
Oh God.
That's
Just
right.
saying.
Don't.
That sounds like a rash.
That's a
Hurt
whole
people.
nother podcast.
Hurt-
Don't get me started.
Hurt people, not animals.
Yeah,
Get
like
a bumper
okay,
sticker.
make money by like being an assassin, not by like hunting whales. How that's no, you're scum if
Exactly.
you hunt whales.
Just kill people in cold blood.
yeah.
Don't try to feed your
Fucking
family.
scuzzbag.
Just on peeps.
Okay,
Well, all right.
bum.
You got seeds and stems?
I sure
on
do.
This, one?
This film was directed by Michael Anderson, who also did Logan's Run,
Oh,
which I know is a favorite of John,
Wow.
mine
That's-
and John's.
That's an awesome movie.
And I'm sure, yes,
yeah.
Michael York and from Walkabout. Oh Jesus! Fucking, why can't I think of her name right now? It's Jenny Agutter. That's it. That's
Oh,
it. She's
yeah.
in Avengers too. Also, he did Around the World in 80 Days, the old one, and Doc Savage, the Man of Bronze.
Yes, that was such a great movie.
He did. He's responsible for those, among others. Written by Luciano Vincenzone, Vincenzone, and Sergio Donati, and others.
Sounds delicious.
Starring Richard Harris, Charlotte Rampling, Doc Savage, a Man of Bronze. No, I'm just kidding. He's not in it. Will Sampson, Bo Derek, Keenan Wynn, and Bob Carradine. And this film was shot in Newfoundland, Malta, and Marineland in Redwood City, California.
And you got to
Oh, wow.
mention the
Been
score
there.
by.
Ennio, right? Was it Ennio Morricone?
It was, right? Yeah.
I mean, now you're going to have to fucking look.
Yeah, hang on.
I'm pretty sure it was.
No.
You got to mention the
I'm pretty
score
sure it was.
because I don't know who did it.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he did like every Italian film ever. I don't think there's any other Italian composers. Oh, well, I guess Nino
Yes.
Rota did The Godfather, and that's
Yes,
and that's it.
Ennio Morricone, Academy Award winner
Yes.
this year. Ennio Morricone,
So yeah,
Cinemarijuana Theatre favorite.
There you go.
Ennio Morricone.
Well, more like a Cinemarijuana Theatre fucking failure right there. I don't remember who did it. So let's get into the 3 minutes, 3 words here. John, since it was your film, We'll start with you. Tell us why you picked it and what you thought and stuff.
All right, yeah, this actually was the first movie that popped into my head when we picked this theme. And I had a couple others that bounced around, but you always remember your first love. So I had to go with this one in the end. And I picked this because I saw this on TV in the 80s when I was a little kid, and it scared the shit out of me. Especially the part like where he bites off Bo Derek's leg, right?
Yeah.
Like you're like all in a house. Like you figure you're in like a living room. You don't got to worry about whales. But then all of a sudden like your leg's gone. Like how the hell did that happen? So yeah, it put the fear of the ocean and of whales into me because that's some scary shit. And man, the part too when the fetus pops out when he's all hanging the whale up, dude, that's like a horror movie. That shit blows my mind.
Yeah, it was gruesome.
Yeah, it's really, and man, for a serious man versus nature story, I mean, obviously, okay, they were trying to make Jaws money, so they put out like this, killer whale movie instead of a killer shark movie.
Right.
But they did their own thing with it. It's got its own vibe. I don't think the story really apes Jaws at all, other than the man versus whale thing. So I thought it'd be a good pick. And I knew and it's funny that I was like right about this, other than Zeb and potentially Matt, I figured nobody else would have seen it. And that was exactly right. So that was also a reason why I went for it. So I always try to pick a movie that I've loved in the past that maybe other people haven't seen from some point when I was watching TV and nobody else was. So, yeah. So my 3 words are whales are scary.
Okay. Kenzie.
Mm-hmm.
Your turn.
I like this movie.
Okay, talk about it.
I mean, I thought it was pretty stupid, but in a good way. I mean, orcas are super smart, but this just wouldn't happen. So it's pretty stupid. In the same way that if Jaws were a little more stupid, it'd be like that. Right? I mean, it would. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I just like this movie. I thought it was fun. And what? Condi is over there, raising his fist.
Raising his ire.
I mean, it's too silent. I need, some interaction. Cause
He's probably going to rip the film apart.
No, I actually love this movie.
Yeah?
I've seen it previously.
Then
too.
perhaps your praise isn't lofty enough.
I'm just trying to think of what else. I mean, it is a good time, I guess. So, watch this movie.
All
That will be my 3 words.
All right, there we go.
Nice. I like that.
All right, Raul, your turn.
This is a movie I saw as a little guy. And I hadn't seen it since then, so definitely great pick. I don't think it's a classic, but I think it has everything to make it a cult classic. It does all the good things bad and all the bad things perfect. It's just, you got the cheesy effects and some of the shots you can tell which were in the tank, but everything's edited together so well that it's very, pretty practically seamless. I like all the themes in the movie, especially when he's talking to the priest and, he's like, "Hey, Papa, what's a sin?" And the priest is like, "Sins aren't what you do to other people. It's what you do to yourself, little dog." And that was definitely my favorite line in the movie. I also kind of found there were some parallels with Frankenstein, because both of these, Frankenstein and this film, they make their own monster. This guy made this whale into a motherfucker, and it ends in some fucking dumb-ass icebergs. You know?
Yeah.
So I kind of found some similarities there, but definitely a cult classic, and like John said, it's similar to Jaws, but not in the ways to make it offensive. It does so many new things that it definitely stands on its own hind legs, much like a orca would.
Yes,
Yeah.
possibly in prehistoric times.
Right. Or
Prehistorica.
Yeah, prehistorica.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's definitely an interesting take on the classic tale of vengeance or revenge story.
Yeah.
Revengeance. Sorry, I'll stop.
Rowenge. All right, your 3 words.
Good whale, badman.
All right, Chris.
Yeah. Okay.
Your turn.
All right. Had never seen this movie. Wish I had seen it as a kid because Jaws was really scary to me. It's just hard to find movies that scare me as an adult. You know, it's always more fake. It's always harder to believe.
It's cool because whales are real.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You can believe it.
Yeah, you can believe it.
But I know, I can look up and see that they've never killed a person, So it's a little less scary now, whereas, I don't know, being a kid, yeah, it was, it would have been different. But nevertheless, still pretty scary. Yeah, pretty awesome. I love the way they really played up the fact that they're more intelligent than sharks, and they set the bar immediately by just having a shark die.
Right out the gate.
Like,
that was
this
kind
is
of
what
like eat it, Jaws.
Here's what we're gonna do, right? They're like,
Establish their dominance.
yeah, yeah. What's the as if the Jaws movie had continued and different people were on the dock, and there's like another shark swimming around, and the orca kills it, and then another movie begins. But no, it wasn't really like Jaws. If you're looking for a movie that's like Jaws, it was pretty different.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so your 3 words.
Oh wait, I don't know if I was done though.
Oh, okay. Keep going, man.
I was gonna ramble some more. I was gonna ramble on.
Please, no, please do.
Do it, Hooper.
This movie can't be praised enough.
I don't know if the whale, or technically not a whale,
Yeah, it's a
technically
dolphin.
they're dolphins, but was an antagonist. Wasn't he a protagonist? And the
Well, we
fucking
can. That's actually we're going to discuss
goddamn
that.
asshole
We're going to
that-
discuss that in the questions.
Okay. Well, that's my opinion on that. I can't remember.
That's all I've got to say about that.
And that's all I got to say about that.
I was gonna say something else. What are my 3 words? Fuck. This whale awesome.
Okay. All right. That brings it to me. My turn. All right. So I had a couple of notes here. Glad the whale knew how to blow up that factory.
Oh, they all know that.
I thought
Oh,
that
yeah.
I thought that
I
was
looked it
rad
up.
that the whale knew exactly like what structures to destroy to make that plant like explode catastrophic. Not just malfunction, not just have like a part of it go south, not like maybe like block the workers or kills people. No, blow the entire fucking thing up. Like
He
this
was
is-
like Anakin Skywalker in Episode 1.
Dude.
When he like fires that shot and brings down the whole Trade Federation.
that was a bright ass whale. Harris equals react machine. I thought Harris had a lot of great reactions. He looked like there was so many shots of him like looking on in horror because in the editing room they've cut that together next to some footage they shot of the fucking whale at Marineland. You know what I mean? And so like half of Richard Harris's performance is him spent like looking at something and being scared or something. I wrote down the mammal too.
Oh, hey, like the Manitou, right?
Right, because of like
Not bad.
the
I see what you did there.
you gotta shut up. And I also wrote the Irish Man in the Sea instead of the Old Man in the Sea.
That's a good one too. Yeah. Hey.
Oh,
That's like you would see like the weird like Thai release poster, and they'd be like called something like that.
yeah, the Brazil release.
Yeah.
Totally.
I also my final note is would have been much funnier with Dick Van Dyke. I don't know in what
Where they
role.
go-
I don't know what
where they
role.
go
I-
for funny
Would have been a
though.
lot cooler with Big Van Dyke.
How many
Yeah,
horrors has there been
dude,
now?
this movie was fucking rad. When that whale shit that fucking fetus out, I was
Right?
like, oh my god, like,
Yeah,
because it was
shocking.
already like all tense and like, I'm like, I read the reviews afterwards and everyone talking about how stupid it is and stuff, and I'm like, what? I'm like, this was like pure adrenaline, man, like, fucking A. And then, dude, like, what an environmental message.
The birds.
That's it has much more of an eco message.
What a green subtext, right?
Yeah.
Richard Harris is totally fun. The locations were rad. I mean, yeah, okay, this movie's kind of stupid, but it's totally fun and awesome. And I defy you to show it to like anybody, especially anybody who's like got like sensitivity to animals. And that part where that fetus comes out, dude, forget it.
Yeah,
The beginning of the movie is pretty rough.
Fucking game over.
I heard the whale actor went on to found Greenpeace.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
The guy in the whale suit?
No, just the whale.
How non-humanitarian?
I knew they were smart, but wow.
Yeah, Jesus,
they're
man. Keep
surprisingly
surprising me
intelligent.
around every turn.
That's it, man.
So yeah, I guess the task I'm charged with is to think of 3 words
To describe that.
to describe this film that mean that. So I will say, fuck what you heard.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn.
Watch out.
Okay. All right. So Condi,
Now,
take it home. Take it the fuck home.
Give us an over the pants, Condi.
All right. I love this movie. It's a movie that I like so much. I try and revisit it every few years.
like Christopher Lee in The Lord of the Rings.
Yes, exactly. I can't say enough good things about this movie. That guy's poor crew, especially that first one that just gets eaten alive while they're trying to cut away like his mate from the ship.
Rad.
I'm like, Jesus, and teaches you, beachfront property's not all that cracked up to be. Don't have that house on stilts. You get your leg bitten right off.
Could happen.
She's like a pirate now with a peg leg.
Yeah, exactly. He enhanced her. Richard Harris was just amazing in this movie. He was awesome as the Irish Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was badass.
He was, and at the time, they had one of the few movies that had like a couple of different sex symbols in it. For its time, Charlotte Rampling and Bo Derek. Back in the day, sweet pieces.
Yeah.
Cinema slam piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Couple of dimes. Couple of dimes.
And then
There we go. That's the new name for the segment, the Cinema Slam piece.
okay, and everybody's gonna want to draw parallels between this movie and Jaws.
I thought you were going to say Frankenstein.
No, not Frankenstein, but he did create his own monster.
Well,
I do agree with that.
those shots of the boat at the beginning when they're on the boat, I'm like, it's like where Jaws left off.
Oh yeah,
yeah, exactly.
you want Cage goes in the water, you're in the water, Orca's in the water. You expect that tiny little needle to get past his hide.
We're going to need a bigger iceberg.
Yeah, but I enjoy watching this movie. I'll watch it again probably in like a week because it's too good, especially when you see something and you're just all like, God, I gotta watch that again.
Yeah.
Condi, I want to live your life.
But I guess my 3 words would be needed some quique.
Badly.
Does that mean Jaws is a ripoff of Moby Dick?
No.
Homage.
Okay. I'll take it.
Because Jaws itself, he just came in and started killing. Moby Dick, they went and tried to kill him.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
All right, okay. You got me
Moby
there.
Dick.
You got me there, son. All right. I just want to say, John, that you mentioned that this film begat your fear of the sea. For me, it was the book A Night to Remember by Walter Lord.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I thought it was bath time for you.
there we
That is, I can see
Yes.
that as being the Titanic story, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that would be
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
pants shitting too.
It's
They
funny
get eaten
because
by sharks in the
I've never been on a boat really for the most part in my fucking life, and like I would just be shitting my pants about like my boat sinking as a kid. It was just
Oh,
ridiculous.
yeah.
It's scary to think about.
It's
Whew.
crazy to think of the distance between like you and the bottom of the ocean when you're in deep water.
Oh, dude, it's
like
just
you're hovering
ridiculous.
Yeah.
above like.
It's crazy to think
Well-
ahead as a kid.
Well, no. Actually, that is something I did want to talk about. Is like the cosmicness of the ocean, because there's this bit in The Simpsons about like if you go 12 miles out to sea, you're in international waters and you can do whatever you want,
Right.
right? So first I was thinking like, dude, that'd be rad if I had a boat, just take it like just 12 miles out and then just do whatever I want, right?
Monkey knife fights.
But then, but I realized that when I got out there, I would be shitting my fucking pants so hard that there's like 12 miles between me and land, and I'm like, I'm get the fuck out of here.
You need a
And I would
yacht.
say, I'm right the fuck back.
You need a yacht, man.
So
Yeah.
like, okay, so Richard Harris had the temerity to fuck with the ocean, like, so like, is that something humans should do?
Well,
bigger boats.
I think humans in the ocean kind of have this symbiotic relationship because I mean, there's a lot of cultures that derive,
We eat from it.
yeah, for this. But then you got it's like a give and take. Like you take too much, you fuck things up. Which is man's way of blowing it, which is kind of what happens around the world.
Well,
so.
humans
Took too
do
much.
not have a symbiotic relationship with the ocean.
Or anything else for that.
Yeah, exactly. Now, some tribes and stuff absolutely do.
Well, those are humans. What are you talking about?
No, I mean select
Semantics,
people.
get out.
that's still humans.
But you're talking humans on like a global scale.
I'm talking about humans in general.
No, I wouldn't generalize it.
What's the
How
problem?
come there's no humans that live in the ocean? Is what I want to know.
Like
is it because
Atlanteans
of
or
whales? Yeah, yeah. Well, not mermen, just
Mermen?
people living in the ocean.
Ethel
How else do you
Merman?
say
That's
it?
Homer.
Joe Rogan had the best quote about the ocean that I love, and it's as once you enter the ocean, you become part of the
Food chain.
the food chain.
Yeah,
That's
Oh, yeah.
the
And
real
that's-
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And about as far from the top as you can fucking get, depending
Maybe
on your
in the middle.
circumstance.
You
Well,
can eat a bunch of shrimp.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Not a,
yeah. You could chug
dude. If you're
squid.
floating out in the middle of the ocean, you're like snatching shrimp up and fucking.
It happens.
I'm not a big seafood enthusiast,
Well, not
so I
with
would
that
die of
attitude.
starvation.
You've seen Survivor. That's how it
I've
works.
seen
man.
Survivor Man, and I know that's not how it works. Because
Oh,
when he gets dropped in the
what?
middle of the ocean, the first thing he wants to do is get to shore.
Haven't you seen
Survivorman.
Beer Giles or whatever his name is?
No, I only like Survivorman.
Bear Grylls.
yeah.
Bear Grylls.
Giles.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
fake.
like that guy. I don't like him, and
He
I don't
stays
like
in
the. I
hotels.
don't like the Man versus World, the guy that eats the fish. I don't like him.
Man versus
I only
fish.
like Survivor.
That's-
That's the one.
That's
Man
mouth
versus fish.
mouth versus fish.
He has a big fish vendetta. It's a really long show. It's just so many fish.
Okay, that's enough bullshit. Let's get let's get down to brass fucking tacks here.
How much for the monkey?
Cause for me, the whale is the fucking is the anti-antagonist. He's the anti-antagonist.
Right.
He is a fucking victim. He is being persecuted, fucking hounded, like just his life destroyed. And we're supposed to root for Richard fucking Harris?
Yeah.
Well,
He's like
What
the opposite of a
fuck?
flawed hero.
But the way the movie is done,
Flawed anti-hero.
we're supposed to root for Richard Harris.
Yeah,
Or-
the fish is the bad guy the way it's shot.
Okay,
The
well,
narrative.
does somebody want to say something before I because I could probably
Well,
ramble
because
about
like
it.
the whale is the very epitome of like I try to stay out, but they pull me back in.
By
He's-
victim, he's the antagonist. Or by definition, yeah, he's the antagonist.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
technically Richard Harris is just doing his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the antagonist is just anyone who gets in the main character's way, right? So
Yeah.
technically,
Okay,
there's no
okay,
good
sure.
or bad distinction.
Okay,
in
no.
protagonist,
Okay,
antagonist.
well, that's interesting.
It's like
that-
Harvey and Batman.
Yeah.
Because I really like him.
Or
and
Maude
then I
and
feel
Harold
bad
and
for
Maude.
him, even when he's a bad guy.
You mean Two-Face?
Yeah.
Twice face.
Isn't his name Harvey?
Well, but yeah, it is. But why don't you feel bad for other villains?
Well, what are the other villains' origins? Because if it's sad,
Oh,
I mean,
jeez.
shit happens. I could see becoming a villain. Like, it's understandable. You know?
Well, life is pretty shitty.
Well, I just mean, like, it's sad sometimes.
in the ocean.
Like with this whale. Like, he is the antagonist, but
He's the victim.
he was forced to be.
That's it.
He was made a monster, like with the Frankensteinian parallel.
That's
you know.
what, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Instead of a bolt of lightning, it was this fetus flopping out on the on the bank.
Well, so the
Gross.
next question that I would ask
Flatus
then
fetus.
is that since we all agree the film is done like that, where Richard Harris is still like basically the hero of the story, does that reflect some kind of warped politics of 1977 that people would just be like, dude, fuck that whale? Like, how dare... All they did was like murder his wife and his baby. Fuck that guy. Like, is that really is that really the provinciality of 1977 that we're seeing?
It's weird. Every time I've seen this movie, up until this time, I felt like the whale was the bad guy. But seeing it now, it seems like it's kind of the opposite. But then, I feel like it was still like nothing he did was illegal. and nothing that he did wasn't happening all the time around then. Like, it's like if I made a movie about how they kill monkeys when they do research on them, like, people be upset, but that happens all the time. Like, do you not like getting the plague? Because guess what? They got to experiment on monkeys.
Well, then where was the scientific value in the destruction of this whale's family?
But he was just trying to take it to SeaWorld or some shit.
What?
That's what he was doing, wasn't it?
So he was trying to fucking line some fucking fat cat pockets.
But that's you seen Blackfish. That's how they got you. That's how they got him, and it was legal.
That's how they get you. Man.
Well, okay.
Everybody was still going to SeaWorld.
But I thought they were talking about it was like the first time anyone would have done that. Like everyone would be so impressed.
Yeah, well, I mean, and like it or not, everybody's got a certain job to do. Do we like getting a ticket? Well, I wasn't really speeding, but you got to get the ticket anyway. Do you like it? No. Do you like the cop that really gave it to you, but you really value the police in general?
There's really no need to take an orca out of the ocean.
Yeah, but a movie like this would never be made nowadays with Generation Crybaby and people like you, Kenzie, who value animal life over human life.
It could. It would still be powerful.
It would, but it would be more skewed towards how Ed saw it at first, where like
you'd be more pro whale.
You would be way more pro whale, and actually depending on how it was made and where it was made. Like if the Japanese were to make a movie like this, it would be way more pro Richard Harris.
Because I never felt like it was particularly sympathetic towards the main character, as much as it was kind of like waiting for him to get his shit together to fucking go what he had to do. I felt sympathy towards his crew, but never him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I felt it was kind of geared more towards.
You are kind of supposed to hate both of them to some degree, seems like.
It's like a showdown.
Yeah.
Of the biggest fucking shitlords in the ocean.
Yeah, dude, of 1977.
Seaside shitlords.
Big old shit off.
Okay, so yeah, I was going to say it was interesting because who here, is there anybody here that has not seen Blackfish? All right, so I think that obviously in this, because I don't know,
I think I've seen it.
This not to try to talk too much about Blackfish, but I think particularly regarding killer whales, Blackfish was a pretty, was one of those like kind of pipe bomb things. You know what I mean? With that really has impacted and lasted like in the popular consciousness. You know what I mean? So I think watching this movie now,
but also made very skewed too. That movie was not down the middle whatsoever.
Well, I don't know that any like, documentary is made down the middle exactly.
Well, I would say for not to get off topic too much, but I'd say Soaked in Bleach is pretty down the middle.
I think it borderlines on expose.
Way more so than most of the other documentaries we see.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously,
a
documentarian is going out there like this is how they obviously want to ideally would like to make it down the middle 50-50, but will get clouded by their own beliefs.
Is that the one where they wait? Is that the one where they insinuate that Courtney Love had Kurt Cobain killed?
Yeah, but that one actually...
How is that not skewed?
Okay, okay, look, we're getting off fucking topic.
Yeah,
the point is,
we'll talk about that later.
The point is, what I'm saying is that no matter how you feel about Blackfish, I think you can't think of like killer whales. It's like we live in a post-Blackfish society where killer whales are concerned, is what I'm trying to say.
Nobody thought it was bad back then. That was kind of my point.
Well, right. Well, and obviously we've learned quite a bit. But so what was interesting about Orca is that it sort of reflects these like sort of this negative attitude, but at the same time, like the movie like seemed to like fully be aware of and like acknowledge that these these whales have like these kind of these higher intellects and they forge these tight bonds and all this kind of stuff. So
that's
in a way,
angle,
it almost seemed like.
I mean, that's why it's scarier than a shark, is because they can.
I didn't know it was like scary at all, though. If that's what it's supposed to do,
that's what it was trying to do.
I don't doubt it, but I don't know, because I feel like they build up the whales character so well at the beginning when Charlotte Rampling is telling you all this rad stuff about it. That's more or less true, and it seems like sort of ahead of its time for like kind of being that knowledgeable, but at the same time.
Well, and also this movie, it came out and was made around a time when everything was changing in that kind of world. I mean, it was the end of like widespread like whaling and things like that. Like, yeah, you still had it in Japan and certain Eskimo cultures, and I want to say like not Sweden, but
some of those.
Yeah,
kind of pre-Save the Whales, though, isn't it? Or,
but it was getting there.
It was like mid '80s.
Yeah, it was like
They're ahead of their
transitional,
time.
and things like SeaWorld or aquatic parks were coming into play at that time. So this movie was in more of a transitional thing. This was like pretty much the last thing they could have made like this where it would have even mattered at all. Because you do see the intelligence of the orca. Yeah. And you were starting to see that at the aquatic parks. There was way more than SeaWorld. So I just say aquatic parks.
If Richard Harris's goal, if his task, if all this shit started because he's trying to take this fucking whale out of the ocean for SeaWorld, look at the hell that it fucking unleashes. That to me seems like a pretty powerful message that, like, dude, it's almost like Godzilla. Like the original Godzilla was sort of,
like he seemed like he's the bad guy, but he he represents the bullshit that nuclear power has wrought.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's the real bad guy.
So like, at the same time, it seems like it kind of underneath the surface, it has this message of like, we shouldn't fuck with these things, right?
I think so. I think it's when I'm watching it this time, I feel like that the message seems to be that that it's not a good thing to fuck with whales.
Don't you think a better way to like champion a species would not to be make them look like bloodthirsty killers? I mean, if they were really concerned about the environment and they wanted to do that, I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
No, you're making a valid point.
But doesn't America love like frontier justice?
Okay, that movie was meant to endear the American public to killer whales.
No, but what I mean is if the killer whale was fucked with, and the killer whale fucks with him right back, like, and the killer whale's like, oh, okay, and takes it right to him.
It's like a cautionary tale that it isn't nice to mess with Mother Nature.
Maybe if the whale was more like Clint Eastwoody, I don't know.
Well, it's basically like a whale Punisher. Punisher's hanging out with his family. They're both hanging out with their families. Family gets fucking wrecked, dome shot. Brah, brah. Then he comes back for justice.
Same coloring too.
Same fucking movie.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. It was like
the whale's name was Frank too. So.
Frank Orcastle.
See, he would have been the main.
Oh Jesus!
Rad.
Oh Jesus!
There we go. There we go. And he was like a proto Tilikum.
I have an interesting story.
Just think about it. Tilikum's like all trying to eat the trainers and shit.
Yeah. Well, this is.
Don't you think if Tilikum could blow up something at SeaWorld, he totally would?
Mm-hmm.
I guess you kind of find out
how really sick.
If he, dude,
he's sick as fuck.
I understand
dude.
that.
He'd be right in there. He'd go like pop up through the sewers or something,
Poor
like
guy.
a Ninja Turtle.
That whale's so sick.
He's slick.
But I mean, think about it.
Grease up.
If there was like a pipe he could chomp that would like make the fucking the penguin encounter blow up.
Aww.
Poor
penguin.
Would he fucking
Orcas
do
eat
it?
penguins. Calm
Would
down.
he do it? Would he do it? Or Captain Kidd's World or something?
I think if there was a pipe, he would just do a fucking ollie off of it, dude, like a 360. Because that's how sick that whale is.
And land on a trainer.
Yeah.
The whale is sick.
Just grind it with his fucking dorsal, like the
Doing
whole
dabs while doing it.
And I think that's the point of this movie is like prophetic because you see how deadly these killer whales actually are. Killing people left and right.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Water parks everywhere.
I wish there was a way people could have known that killer whales would kill. I wish there was some sort of advanced warning.
So it's an indicator or something. A clue.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they have big smiles. Like they look really friendly.
They
Well,
do.
that's it. That's very deceptive.
Their teeth are kind of roundish. They're not like all jagged and scary.
They could be marshmallows, and you won't know until you touch them.
Yeah, that'd be so great.
Yeah. Actually, oh my
Just
god.
drop some morphine down the blowhole and they'll be fine.
Wouldn't they just blow it right back
That's how I
out?
solved my
Wouldn't
problems.
you like to know?
Yeah, I guess so. Has anybody ever made love to a killer whale's blowhole in the history of... Where's Jason Land?
Killer whales,
History of
or
Jason
does
Land.
any
He's like,
dolphin
done it.
count?
Well, I suppose any dolphin I would accept.
That-
Because
I'd
once
love
you...
to a few blowholes.
Well, once you started getting beyond that, I have a hard time imagining... Because the size difference becomes greatly increased as you move up the the whale ladder.
Some people have been raped by dolphins. So
that's what I've heard.
So it goes the other way. You get Well,
I heard a guy on Howard Stern one time talking about how he had like this lengthy relationship with this dolphin at a water park, and he would like.
Yeah, he wrote a book about it.
Yeah,
too.
and
they made a movie about him too. They made a documentary about him.
Yeah,
the movie they didn't
they
make
did.
was the CIA actually funded a program where they tried to get dolphins, or it was this one type of whale, to talk because it had like the best vocalization. So they hired this chick, right, to train him.
Right.
And part of the experiments were to get him high on acid, like LSD, and jerk him off. And that's what she did. And then they kind of ended it after that, I guess.
I missed that episode on Sequest.
Whoa, dude.
True story. Look it up.
They should have covered that on the X-Files.
Rizzle.
That's right, dude, man.
Did it talk?
No.
Turns out it did.
I take it back.
It's just like,
No,
oh,
I take it
fuck,
back.
I'm on
I swear to God.
acid.
I'm
Who
sorry.
are all these people?
One of them
dude?
did.
What?
One of them did. There is this whale that said to a trainer, or not a trainer, some guy at night walked into his basically like where he sleeps, and the whale said, "Get out."
No way.
You're shitting me.
The whale's probably like,
I'm not lying.
shitting me.
There's a type of whale that can actually mimic the human voice, but they can't talk.
He's all like, everybody's looking at me. I got to make this story good.
No, they're not talking. They can actually
Thanks
mimic.
for all the fish. I'm
It's
out.
like it's the same way like a parrot like mimics phrases. Yeah, I swear.
That's like when they've done those humanz like experiments, right? Like
This is-
they
I
always
swear
hit a
to God.
certain point where either somebody's got a bone, like the chimp, or the chimp's got to bone somebody, and then the program kind of falls apart. Suddenly they lose volunteers.
I'll look it up.
You should have said that he walked in and the whale was like 420, dog. Or
No,
something.
he said
Smoking
get
took
out.
balls.
Found out the whale was sick
Got
when the
some
whale said
dabs.
420, bros. Let's dab up and dab out.
Yeah. That's real.
Okay, well, is there anything else we should talk about this movie?
I think we've covered it. Just man, like it's an alternate Jaws.
Yeah.
If you like Jaws, give this one a chance.
There's a lot of ways this could have gone wrong too. Like when you really think about it, there were so many ways this movie could have been a total shit pile.
And-
Like
I'll
having the orca bring in other animals to fight and shit. There could have been so much dumb shit.
And I'll
in this movie.
maintain that it's way better than any fucking Sharktopus versus Crocosaurus or fucking Sharknado or any of that shit.
Sharktopus.
It hits home the same way Jaws does, like, because these are real things that swim in the water.
Yeah,
with us,
it's got a seriousness to it.
Well, think
Yeah.
about it
Yeah.
too. Like, also, kudos to like the way it was shot in the editing too. That like, think of something like Bride of the Monster, where it's just like, okay, now we're watching stock footage.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You're like watching, a performance 1 minute, and then you're like, okay, now what is this? Like, at least they were able to take that shit that at times was obviously shot in a tank, but edit it in such a way that the action isn't like interrupted.
I couldn't even tell.
Yeah, see that. So I should have wrote down who edited it, but
yeah, mission
I
accomplished.
fucking didn't do that. I blew it.
Another serum marijuana fail.
Incidentally,
While I try to
the
say that.
place this was filmed, the location, Marine World,
Yes.
later became Marine World Africa USA.
Right.
And when I was a kid, I went there, right? Like,
Right.
we went there a couple of times.
Is there a whale that said get out?
They had this isn't whale
Oh,
related,
jeez.
unfortunately.
Hurry up! The theme song's gonna run out. You
Well-
fuck! I'm trying to get us the hell out of here.
Yeah, well, in the cage, we were in the cage watching, or we weren't in the cage, but we were like in the bleachers watching. They had this like big round cage. We were like at that like exhibit, and they had lions and tigers and stuff, and they were going around, and they totally attacked each other and like attacked one of the trainers or a couple of the trainers and shit like that. It was crazy. They like ushered us out of there.
In the whale tank.
Dude,
Wow.
and on that
And then a
bombshell-
whale jumped in.
And on that carnivorous bombshell, for the Cinemarijuana Theatre, I'm Ed.
I'm Condi.
I'm John.
I'm Kenzie.
I'm Whale Fan 420.
We'll be back next week with more animal antagonists.
Get out.